And now back to Just Between Us.
We're back. Good morning and welcome back to Just Between Us. Get out, Austin, fast. We had a little microphone adjustment there. Okay, now that we were professional and handled that we were the way that we were supposed to.
Yeah, well,
Sandra.
Emotions.
Uh-huh.
As we get older, do we hold our emotions in check more than when we were younger?
No. I think we're more open as we
think
get
we
older.
are much more open, I agree.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
I allow myself to get angry more
Now?
now.
Stand
Then-
by.
Well, I mean, I would get angry at work.
Yeah.
They only knew it when they saw the stapler flying through the air.
The steam coming out of your...
No, actually, the stapler hitting the wall.
Oh,
then they
okay.
knew, okay, she's pissed.
Yeah.
But I think now I'm more open and
You can
confident to come out with my
You can verbalize it. You can verbalize it more than before. And I think that at our age, I think like with anger and stuff, it's just like maybe a flash in the pan because we know that, hey, why bother? You know?
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe not hold the grudges as long,
Right.
because it's why bother?
Can't remember.
Well, that's
Yeah.
right. Why am I mad at you? I don't know.
That's the best way. That's the best thing for an Italian because we always hold a grudge.
Oh, my sister hold one for 30 some odd. I mean,
Oh, for Pete's
well,
sake.
my sister's mother was Italian,
Oh, well, that's why then.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
and she took it to the nth. That woman.
That's funny. Listen, Italian people are good people. That's why I can joke about them all the time. Sandy, do you feel that now that you've gotten older and you go through different phases of your life? I mean, Kathleen, sorry, that you...
First thing that goes in names.
Yeah, really. That you verbalize it more, but it's fast. It's said and
Well,
done.
once you say it, it's over with. It's kind of like anything else. Once you realize what it is that's bothering you and you let it go, you deal with it, talk about it, tell whoever you need to tell, who's connected to it, then it's over with. It's done.
But then now we're talking about like negative emotions right now and stuff. What about like happy times or doing something like that? It's more or less euphoric. It stays with you longer.
I think that stays with me. At night, after we have a family event, I love getting together we have a big, huge family. And
Right.
after we've had the grandkids all day, you're tired too, but you go to bed and you just have that warm feeling. And I think that lasts.
It's a happy time.
That lasts into the next day for me.
Well, you know me, the ultimate pessimist, so I don't get warm and fuzzy for very long.
Yeah, but you do get warm and fuzzy. You just like to put up that front.
For a short time.
Yeah, but I mean, Sandy's the type, she'll hug you and good seeing you, have a great time. Now get away from me before I hurt you. That's Sandy's warm and fuzzy.
That's basically it.
You get more fuzzy than you get warm.
Yes, yeah. But, it's, when I've always been a person to hold my emotions in, unless I was extremely
Me too.
one way or the other.
It's easy for me to be emotional and to cry and show emotion more so now, but then I can be tougher now than I was when I was younger. But I think that showing your true emotion the older you get, I think that it warms it makes you warms yourself.
I think as you get older, your hidden ambitions are gone. Because when you're younger, you got so much peer pressure when you're younger, either from coworkers or somebody you're going out with or whomever.
Well, you're building a career. You have all these things that you
have
don't
to
want
learn
to step
control.
on any toes.
Right.
You don't want to look bad. You have all these outside influences that make you feel as if you should be in check all the time.
Well, you're right, because the toes that you step on today may be connected to the rear end that you
Absolutely.
have to kiss tomorrow.
That's
So
right.
there you go. You have to really, really be careful. Do you think that women show more emotion than men do, or men hold back maybe certain emotions that women don't?
Men used to hold back all the time. That's the way they were trained.
Right.
I think men nowadays, they've been so pigeonholed into stereotypes.
You have to be strong. Why?
Well, no, I think they've been pigeonholed into the idea that they're bad if they're strong.
Yeah.
So now they've been so beaten down by all the political correctness that they go to the overboard in showing emotions and stuff. You know, it's like John Boehner crying all the time. Even Bush cries all the time. I get tired. Dry up the tear ducts.
Well, but see, that doesn't bother me because that shows me that they're not afraid to serve.
No,
to
that's
show
not the way
some,
I was raised.
Some type of
Man's
emotion.
supposed to be stoddy.
That's exactly it. But for me, it's more acceptable now. When I see men on the screen, television, big screen, whatever, when they can show that emotion, real emotion, talk shows when men show emotion, that really shows me that person is.
Well, I appreciate that. In a man,
Absolutely, they're
the older I
sincere.
get. I appreciate that in a man, the older I get. I didn't understand that. I was looking for something different, more of an image, I think, more
Right.
of what I thought should be a certain
Stiff
way.
upper lip and men,
Well, of
men
course.
don't cry.
But
they do.
but you don't get the rest of it that goes with it,
Right.
And you don't see that, and you don't think that far ahead. And I think the other thing that happens when you get older, you get better with words.
Mm-hmm.
You know how to communicate better. You're a little more tactful.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, some
Well,
people
I
are.
think you
We're
are.
going to move on to grieving. Oh boy, here we go. Grieving.
Do you feel grieving in private is the best way for you to come to terms with your feelings?
I think it depends on.
It depends. Yeah.
I think it depends not only on the situation. I think it depends on the people involved and who you're grieving with.
Yeah.
And I think that grieving has different plateaus or phases, as we may say,
It does.
in age. I think you grieve a different way
Yeah.
as you grow older.
Yeah, I just recently lost a very, very dear friend, and my girlfriend. We've known each other since we were 5. Her
Wow.
mother passed, and her mother took us everywhere, treated us like princesses. She just loved us, and we spent all our time basically with her. All through my teenage years, we spent with her. But anyway, she passed. It was very, very difficult. And I think what happens, I internalize first. I kind of go inside and deal with that, the impact of the shock first, I think, and the initial loss, and then I'm able to share it. But it's an internal thing first for me, and I don't know if that's true for everybody. But my girlfriend, I was there the night before her mom passed, so I got to spend some one-on-one time with her, and she recognized me, and she knew I was there, and and my girlfriend and I sat and had dinner together, and we were able to talk and cry and just go through all of it, together. But then we went into our separate places, and then they recently came over for dinner Saturday night, and it was we could both see that we were moving beyond already. We're moving beyond it.
Do you find
There's a
that
tremendous loss.
Do you
but-
find that sometimes with a loss that today, because when we were younger, and I'm older than both of you, when I was younger, when somebody passed on, you were dressed in black, you never made a peep, there was nothing. Today when you go, you have celebrations of life. The grieving is there, but it's a different type, and you're able to laugh. You're able to tell stories that were funny that before you would not. Certain things were taboo. But I think that we look at death different today.
Well, she was 77.
That's young.
No, she was older than that. No, my dad's 82, so she was older than my father. She was 87, excuse me. Anyway, and she had been a Catholic nun before she married my girlfriend's father. And she was a staunch Catholic. I mean, her faith was everything to her. So her funeral, of course, was in the Catholic Church. And so everyone wore black, and we followed everything, the procedures of the Catholic
right.
Church to the T, to the letter, everything. There wasn't a lot of humor. It was the old-style funeral.
Yes.
But then after that, we went to family, and we had a big family thing. And family and friends and whatnot.
And I think, too, if a person is extremely ill, and you know that there is that death is coming. Let's face it, we have to be realistic. Like with my father, we knew it was coming, and when he passed away, it was like a relief for him, the suffering had stopped.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's how it was with my mother.
There you go. And my mother was more of a my mother's was more of a shock, but it was that because of what if she was able to come out of what she was in, it would have been devastating. So I'm glad that she went and it was peaceful and it was sudden and there was nothing
Didn't
long
drag
for her.
on. Yeah.
For
Yeah.
her. But
Yeah.
but I do
Well,
feel
for
that
everyone. It
Yeah.
isn't just for that person. It's
Well,
everyone involved. I think.
When I handle grief the way if they're ill or it's expected or whatever, and they lived a very long life, I don't really grieve.
no, I'm happy for them.
Yeah. When my friend's wife and child was killed in a car crash,
There you go.
that was
Devastating.
a shock.
Well, because we don't want our children, we don't expect
Yeah.
our young to
Yeah.
die before we do.
Yeah, and
That's
so
not supposed to happen.
Yeah, that it's amazing. My sister, when she died, my sister was 33 years older than me. And when she died, she was in her 80s and stuff like that. But it hit me because she was my last connection to my father.
There you go.
That was my last connection. I mean, I have a cousin, but it was my
But that-
dad's
but that
brother.
was-
But my last close connection
Right.
to my
And-
father.
and you shared
and
blood,
just
and that's-
shared blood. It's like if I ever got mad at my husband, I had someplace to go.
Sure.
I had that refuge, and it's gone.
Yeah.
And so that hit me. But usually, I'm happy for people to pass because usually it's older.
Sometimes when there's no quality of life, it's time for them to be embraced and be taken home. And that's the most important
believe
thing.
that.
We have to move on. A lot of people don't, though,
I
Kathleen.
totally 100% believe that.
All right, honey, the next two topics are?
Okay. Here, let me give you this. These first. One again.
Traveling. Do you check on all facets of the place you are vacationing, such as weather, restaurants, etc., before start planning?
Okay, and the next one?
Having to make changes. Oh, I hate having to make changes. Have you found when you make a change and it is not what you thought, how do you get back on track?
Okay, we're going to take a very short break. Please stay with us. And Kathleen and the lovely Miss Sandra will be right back.